As creatives, we have the ability to transmute energy, emotion, visions, anything into something that other people can experience with us. When we create, we are giving thanks to our God. And when I mean God, I mean Source. I mean the creator of everything, whatever you want to call them. We're giving thanks because we were blessed with the awareness to be able to create, because everybody and anybody is and can be a creative. There is two types of artists in this life. There's the artists and the shadow artists. The shadow artists are the ones that they long to be seen, they long to be heard, they long to be loved. They might have a breakthrough in their life and find out that I am an artist, because God said, "Be still and know that I am." I am an artist. When you say I am an artist, a lot of people say, a lot of people have perceptions, have stereotypes about us, right? An artist is a drunk, an artist is a crazy person, an artist is a loser, an artist is this and that, an artist is broke, an artist is on the brink of insanity. But what if I told you that being an artist is the most fulfilling sanity that we could be as human beings? Because we're all creative. Even if you grow up and you're not into the arts, any form of art, you're into something, I promise you. You listen to music, don't you? You like to read something. You like to view movies. You like something. Any form of fulfillment that is exterior is a form of art. And you are a consumer. But we need to stop being consumers and we need to stop being more creators. God has gifted us all with the possibility to be able to create absolutely anything that the mind sees or that the heart desires. And as creatives, we only justify that we're creative when we make a piece of work that we're happy and that other people find pleasing. But that's the thing. I need you to stop doing that. I need you to stop thinking that you have to create God perfection work. As creatives, as artists, we need to allow ourselves to create, because that is the veil between us and our Creator. Everything comes from God. God is my infinite supply when it comes to creativity, love, abundance, opportunities, ideas, rhymes, lyrics, drawings. Whatever it is that you do as a creative, you must first sit with the reality that Creator runs through you, and any idea that you ever have first came from Source. There is times when you feel a nudge to create something, or you have a download, or you get hit with inspiration. If you don't act on it, you're dismissing God's love within you to create, its desire to create. When you create, you are giving it power. You are feeding it to grow and evolve. You're giving thanks to God for using you as a vessel of creativity. But that's the thing. There's many artists among us that maybe they're not shadow artists. They're damaged artists. They're artists that once believed that they were worthy of creating, they were worthy of being seen and loved, but somebody or something pushed them into a deep hole of darkness. And now they struggle to bring their light back. They struggle to just even allow God's infinite supply to flow through them. As an artist, we need to heal our wounds. We need to heal our artistic wounds, and we need to allow ourselves to create the same way that God created so many things around us that maybe to some people it's not perfect, but everything is perfect in God's eye, even you. So why wouldn't that piece of work be perfect? We live in a society where we have to be realistic. We have to get a job, because being a creative or being an artist is just not it. Unless you get lucky, unless you have the money, unless you're original, or unless you follow a cliche. But that's the problem. For once, remove yourself from society. Consider yourself as the only artist in the world. You have nobody to impress. You have nobody to create for but yourself. When you start creating for yourself, you start doing things that you love, you start to live by your divinity, you finally do it from the inside and not for outside validation, everything else will add on. The moment that you start creating from your heart, from your soul, you allow your soul to speak to you, you allow God to create through you, that is when everything else will be added on. That's when the money will start coming, the right audience, the fame, the exhibitions, whatever it is that you're trying to do, it will come to you. That is when you start creating for yourself, then God will reward you with more opportunities for you to open up to your fullest creativity. He created us so we can create. Everything around you was created by Source. If it's nature or if it's even mankind creations, it all came from Source. So many people talk about it. The subconscious mind, the pineal gland, God, the universe, so many names, but it's all the same thing. It's an intelligent force within all of us that it's waiting for us to command it. It's not waiting for the right time. It's not waiting for you to have $1 million. It's not waiting for you to be sane. It is waiting for your command. It is waiting for your awareness. It is waiting for you to wake up and tell it, I'm ready. Give me what I need in order to receive this, in order to create this. That's where shadow work is very good for artists. You have to face your shadows. What is keeping you from creating? What did you long for when you were little? Did you want to be a film director? Did you want to paint pictures? Do you want to take photos? Why don't you do it anymore? Why did you sell that camera? Why did you throw away the canvases? Why did you rip out the pages of your notebook? When you create, or you have an admiration to create, I want to make music, I want to write poetry, I want to take photos. Do not let anybody shut you down, for they are jealous, or they do not understand where their creative power comes from. I used to be that way personally. I thought that being creative was a birthright, that I got lucky enough to be born under a lucky star to be creative. But once I started to realize that we're all creative, we're all capable, and I'm not someone special necessarily. Rather, I just happen to awaken to the reality that I'm a vessel of creative energy that transmits from God, is when everything changed for me. That's where now I encourage anybody who wants to just do anything that is creative or artistic to go after it. And I know this because I know the truth, and the truth is that God is the infinite supply of creativity, ideas, love, and abundance. And once we get this through our heads, how life will begin to move differently, how the sun will part from the clouds, and how even breathing becomes poetic. Those who are talented, the real ones that are driven by the real power within all of us, will encourage others to find their own light, because they know that God is our infinite supply, and there is always going to be a supply of ideas and work to tend to. The one who doesn't want to help others or doesn't encourage others to pursue their own creativity are the ones who create from scarcity, who believe that there is a limit, but there is no limit. There is absolutely no limits when you know that as a vessel of God, you are able to create absolutely anything. Obviously, I'm talking in terms of artists and creatives, but this just applies for all life. You need to understand the truth, and I will repeat it one more time. This is the most important thing that you need to understand as a creative, as an artist, just as a person who's experiencing this life and wants to create absolutely anything. You are an animation of God. You are the embodiment of His creative power. You can create just as Jesus Christ did. You are in tune with the universe. You have a power inside of you that it's waiting, it's aching to play with you. But first, you must heal your inner child. You must heal your artist. Let it come out and play. Don't scare it off. If you haven't touched a paintbrush in years, you always longed to paint, let your inner child touch it again, make a mess. You are not there to parent it. You are there to let it play and express itself. That's why I really like the book, The Artist Way. This is the second time that I'm starting it. I'm on week 3. It's a combination of therapy for creatives and shadow work. It is by far the most life-changing books that I have ever read. I've read a lot of books about spirituality, philosophy, self-development, but that one just has to be the one that I would say is the one that if you really, really lock in, really dedicate yourself to it, by the end of the 12 weeks, you will be a true servant of God's creative force. You will just be unlimited. You will finally realize that it has been like that this whole time. That you were never broken. You were never missing anything. You just weren't aware of that power within you that is aching for you to call it to action, to create with you. When you create, God opens the doors for you to be able to express it into a possession that other people can enjoy. As a photographer, I see photos in my mind's eye before I execute them in the 3D realm for other people to be able to see. It's not because I'm so talented or I just have a good eye. It's because I know that that power comes from God. So I always call to Him. I call to Him to collaborate with me. Give me the tools and give me what I need in order to execute this vision. It's a collaboration, and me creating is a thank you for giving me such creative power. We're all creative, we're all capable, we're all deserving of love, recognition. Now, if I want to talk a little bit more logical, there is artists out here that call themselves artists, but by society norms, and let's be real, there's just some artists out here that you really think, how are they famous, how are they wealthy, but their music sucks, but their photos suck. And I could definitely do better than that. You know what they have that you don't have? They had the dignity to go out there and do it. But you are so good, and you know you're better than that, and you know you could reach those numbers, those heights. But guess what? You're struck by fear. You don't want to be seen. You don't want to be heard. You don't want your work to be seen. You leave it in the shadows. But there's people out here who are less talented than you, living a better materialistic life than you, because they weren't scared to embarrass themselves. because they weren't scared to be seen. Because somehow a little voice in their head told them, I'm good enough to be an artist, so I'm going to do it. I'm not saying this to make you feel better. I am saying this because you are and you will always be the best artist that you consider yourself to be. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody else, or else you diminish the whole idea of being an artist. To be an artist is to be uniquely you, is to express feelings, visions, just simply be an expression of life uniquely to you. But there is artists out here that, like I said, talking in all logical social terms, or just straight up ass. But they're living a better life than you because they're not scared. And you could also be living that life or even better, and obviously actually execute better art if you just stop being scared. But that's where shadow work comes in. Heal the inner artist. Once you shift your perception that you just create for yourself and no one else, you and God have shaken hands. You and God are now locked in. And just watch how avalanches of ideas and creativity and opportunities are going to start knocking at your door. But first, we must release all fear, all doubt, all limitations, anything that grounds us. Because to be grounded is to be in fear. But to be in faith is to know that there is an invisible source out there. There's an invisible power that's working with us at all times. And when we stop being in survival mode, we open our awareness to receive more. We are more prone to inspiration. We are more prone to act on ideas. And we become more magnetic to better opportunities and better circumstances of life. You have to embody it. You have to embody the artist that you want to be. Once you know who they are, start acting like them, walking like them, eating like them. Become them, because you will be them eventually. But wouldn't it be kind of nicer if you were conscious of it? And while being conscious of it, you become more aware, more magnetic. You start seeing things unfold for you in your artistic life. You're a creator, so start acting like it. Creator created you to create. It's that easy. I hope this found you well. I'm going to take a shift in my podcast. I'm going to start talking more about creatives, more about spirituality and still life. I'm going to start shifting my talks from universal things like, manifesting the perfect life to the perfect soulmate, to being more creative, and just start simply talking to people who need to hear this, who need to know that you are a creator. Even if you're not an artist, this could still be something for you to hear. We're all creators. We all create things. It is our birthright. It is our absolute birthright to create. So go out there. Let your inner child play. Give it some paintbrushes. Give it a camera. Go on artist dates. Do something spontaneous. Life isn't short. Life just goes by quick when you don't enjoy it. When you don't enjoy it, you end up sitting in your bed one day thinking, fuck, should have just taken that risk. Should have just taken that trip. Should have moved to that city. You're still in time. Doesn't matter what age you are. You can still be an artist. You can still create a new life for yourself. It is never too late, because time is just a measurement. Just like money. It's a measurement of a tool that we use. Money doesn't define you. Nothing defines your worth other than your own self-perception. The wealthy artist is nothing different than the poor artist if they both know that their creative power comes from source. I hope this found you well. Till next time.